Hey everyone, Randy here for Go Midwest Fishing. I just installed 2 new lithium batteries on my boat, and if you have lithium on your boat, you'll notice that the battery indicator on your trolling motor will no longer work. This is because it measures battery voltage, and a traditional lead acid battery slowly loses voltage over time. These new lithium batteries, they're going to hold a constant voltage pretty much up until the point where it's going to die, and then it'll sharply drop off, as you can see by this chart here. So to know how much battery power you have left, we're going to be installing a smart shunt, and today we're doing the BMV 712 smart battery monitor. This comes with the smart shunt, but also the gauge here that I can install right in my dash. Now these run off of Bluetooth, so it'll go right to an app on your phone, and it'll show you everything you need to know about that battery. But I don't want to have to pull up my phone and pull up the app each time, so I opted for the optional gauge here, which I can just take a quick look anytime I want. Now I'm going to be connecting these to my new lithium batteries by EnjoyBot. These are 12 volt, 100 amp hour batteries connected in series. So we got 24 volts going to the trolling motor. Now there are a few videos out there on how to connect this, but I haven't seen one connecting it to a boat with 2 batteries in series. So we're going to see if we can get that to work today. All right, so let's open up the box, see what we got inside. Here's the instruction manual. This is important because it's going to tell you exactly how to wire it depending on your different battery configurations. And we're going to be doing this one today, right there. All right. The manual goes through all the menu settings, tells you how to set up each parameter. This here is the actual shunt itself. And that's all it looks like there. You got your 2 big connectors on top, and then you can connect some smaller wires right there. This here is the actual gauge that we'll be installing into the dashboard. It's looks like I think it takes about a 2-inch hole there to put in. We'll talk about this in a minute, but you can also get these bus bars that'll help you connect all your wires to your negative terminal. This is basically, it looks basically like a phone cord. It's not the same as a phone cord because they got different connections on here as far as which wires are being used, I've heard. But anyway, this will connect into the gauge here. That's how we're going to get that to work. And then we have 2 small red wires that will go from the shunt to the batteries. So I'll show you how that works also. And then you also get this optional little cover plate if you want to make a square gauge compared to a round gauge. All right, let's get installing this thing. I was taking a look at the installation instructions. So this is how we got ours in series. So you got the positive off the first battery, the negative off the second battery, and then connected from the positive to the negative. So the smart shunt is going to go off the negative side of your battery and goes to the battery only, it says right there. And then on the other side is where you connect all your loads. So we'll be connecting the negative of the trolling motor, which is actually right here. We'll move that over to this side of the shunt, along with any additional loads you want to put on this. And then there's that like phone connector piece right there that we'll use that cable. That goes in there and straight over to the gauge. And then these red wires here connect into the little slots right there. And those will go to the positive terminal of your battery. And then we can do a midpoint one on the second battery right there. So now we just need a place to install the shunt, and I think I decided I'm going to put it right over on this wall here. Just screw it right into the wall. And then you're going to need a jumper cable from this negative over to the shunt. So right here I just got a 24-inch jumper. So I'll be installing that between 2, and then I'll put all the other negative stuff on the other side. All right, there's the wiring set up. So I put the jumper cable from the negative over to here, and then I got the negative from the trolling motor battery here, plus the battery charger on it. And then the two red wires, so the one goes to the positive of the one battery, and the other one to the positive of the other battery. Alright, so I got a 3-bank charger on here, one's going back to the starting battery, and I got 2 on here, so I do have the one charger, so this one goes to the positive, and then the negative side goes to this side of the shunt. Although the second battery, I hooked them right onto the battery because it doesn't show anything on how to connect that one up. So we're just going to go with the way it's originally done and try that. Now we just got to hook up the wire here to the gauge. So let's go see if this fits up there. If not, we can always put it up front up there. Alright, let's pull off this panel, see if our gauge will even fit. It's going to be really tight, I think. Let's see if there's room behind here. Alright, so we're going to try to replace this one. It doesn't work anyway, it's the voltmeter. So the question is, do we have room? It's about the same size, I think. Alright, out goes that. This has a little ring on it. Here goes nothing. Better fit. Oh, look at that. It's gonna work. Just on the back side. Straighten it out a little bit. There. Tighten her down. Cool. Now, plug a couple wires in the back. Alright, they give you plenty of wire there. Run it through there, and I'll pop it through the hole here and come to the shunt. But for now, I gotta feed it over here. And I had to take off the little side panel here so I can get to the wire. I'm gonna feed it, through there, up and around into the dash up here. Alright, got the wire from out of there. Now just a plug right into the back of there. There, that's all you gotta do for that. They do have a couple of extra slots here if you want to hook some other things up to it, like a battery temperature monitor or something like that. Alright, let's put this all back, secure the wires, and turn it on. I got it put back together, all wired up. This actually turned on, and it's telling me you need to calibrate or something. So, there we go, got her nicely connected up there. Everything's hooked up, so it's powered. All right, now to get this all started, we need to go to the Victron Connect app. So if you don't have that, go to your phone, download the app onto your phone, and then I'll walk you through what I know how to set this up correctly. So let's do that now. All right, I need my phone here, so we switched cameras. Now I can show you what's going to happen on my phone. So we need to go to the Victron Connect app. And let's see. It's my first time seeing this, so let's walk through this. All right, through this page you can see all the nearby Victron products you can connect to. Let's go to next. I think we have to, I'm going to go to my Bluetooth enable that because it's connected through Bluetooth. So let's go to Smart BMV. Pin, I believe it is, pin to pair with it. I think it's 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I think that worked. Cool. All right, explore features, simulate devices. All right, let's go next. Next. Connect a device. All right, pull down the screen to initiate a scan. All right. Cannot connect. Bluetooth is what? It's already connected to another phone. Let's try to toggle this in airplane mode and back on and off. Maybe I should have waited to connect to Bluetooth until I got it on the app here. Might go back. All right, I'm gonna retry. There, now it's connecting. So wait till you get to the app to connect it, I guess. All right, don't leave the app while update is in progress. So it's got to have a bunch of firmware updates, so we're gonna have to go through that. So hit update. I have 1 bar of 4G out here. I'm in a metal pull shed, so I get just enough signal where I can pull it in, looks like. All right, firmware updated. Your device is an update. Press continue. All right. I gotta click it again, maybe. Reconnect to it. Okay, now we're in the main screen. Unsecured access here. So basically all this is saying is we put those zeros in to access it. They want you to change it to a more secure code, but we're not going to worry about it for now. Don't worry. All right, not now. So I installed these batteries. I went out and I used it for a day. So the batteries are not fully charged, although it's showing 100% right now. It's because you have to calibrate to the 100% stage. So what we'll end up doing after we do all this stuff, we'll put it on the charger and let it charge to that 100%, and then it'll sync up with it. All right, so it looks like we gotta go up this top right corner, hit the little settings icon. Settings disabled. Update the latest firmware is required in order to view. All right, so now we gotta update that, I guess. Update. So I was watching other people do this, and they did say there's gonna be usually 2 updates. So this should be the second one, then we can start filling in the correct parameters here. All right, continue on. Oh, they're making me connect again. Every time I update, I gotta reconnect. All right, now we'll go to the settings. Battery capacity. It automatically comes as 200 amp hours. I have 2 100 amp hour batteries, so I'm gonna leave it at 200 amp hours if you add those together. Auxiliary input. I'm gonna have, that's the 2 little red wires I did there, so you can have that second port as different things like temperature or the starter battery. I have it as the midpoint of these 2 batteries, so I'll put midpoint, hit OK. All right. Let's see, so battery. All right, so hit the battery icon. All right, so after battery capacity, we have charged voltage. So this is where it doesn't really show in the instructions. I didn't see anyone else doing this. So normally you do it 2% or 0.2 volts less than what your charger is going to charge it to. So this lithium battery can go between 14.2 and 14.6 volts with the charger. My charger on there, I just happen to know, will charge to 14.6 volts. So 2 minus as, 14.4. Some of the people that actually install these were recommending 14.2. So if we go 14.2, I'm going to double that. So we got 28.4 since it's connected in series. So I'm just going to change that to 28.4. Okay, because each one's at 14.2. Add those together and you'll get the 28.4. Okay, discharge floor. This is where you want it to consider it to be like depleted, dead battery. So you can put 0 here if you want to know the full capacity of your battery. Unlike lead acid, which you only wanted to put at like 50%, because if you discharge it more than that, you'll harm your battery. The lithium you can discharge a lot further. So they recommend doing 10%. That way you have a little bit of, see if I can just click on that, there we go, 10%. Hit OK. That way it's going to calculate your time till you get 10% of your battery left. That way you have a little bit of reserve. You don't want to go down to 0 and be like, oh no, now I'm completely out. So just know when you're looking at your numbers that it will give you time remaining where until you're at 10%, not completely depleted. All right, tail current. This should be at 2%. Yeah, that's what I wrote down there. So we want there we go, 2%. Charge detection time. Three minutes. Yeah, they said you can just leave that as is. The Pukert exponent. Now this, I'm not 100% sure. I was reading up on it a little bit, but it kind of determines how your battery's depleted, like over time, like the curve of it depleting. And each type of battery is a little bit different. So with lithium, we want 1.05. So depending on the type of battery, it may change, but for our lithium, that's the setting for that. Charge efficiency factor. Okay, you want 98 or 99%. This will tell it when it's like fully charged, and it'll reset back to, it's 100% charge. If you put it at 100%, it may never quite reach it to get it to reset. So you want to make sure it does reset. So I'm going to go 98% just to make sure it does cross over that threshold and reset it to 100% as fully charged. All right, the current threshold, they got 0.1 amps, and that is, they said that's good to leave as is, so we're doing that. Time to go averaging period. Yeah, we can leave that at 3 minutes as well. All right, battery state of charge on reset, set to 100%. So we got three options on here. Keep state of charge. So this happens if, say, our battery becomes disconnected, the battery monitor becomes disconnected, and it loses sight of, like, oh, we don't know how much charge is in here. So when you reconnect it, it can either keep the last known value, it can clear it out, meaning it's unknown until you resynchronize it. So it'll just be a bunch of dashed lines saying, hey, we don't know how much battery is, so we'll wait till you fully charge it again, then we'll know we're at 100%. Or you can set it to 100%. So you disconnect, put it back out, you'll say 100%, even if you're only at 50%. That's a little misleading. So I think I'm just going to put clear, because that way I know if it became disconnected, I know I have to recharge it up to know the actual amount of battery left, and it's not just kind of guessing at it. So the next button there says state of charge. This, I believe, is you can manually set it to 100%. So you just charged batteries, they are good. You can set it to 100% and it'll recalibrate to that. Yeah, because synchronized to state charge to 100%, so you can tell it's already at 100, so it doesn't have to charge it. All right, and then last we got zero current calibration. So you shouldn't have to do this, but if you need to calibrate your system, you can disconnect it so there's zero current running through it, and then you calibrate it so it's at 0, so it knows where the 0 point is. All right, I think that should be all. See, we have other options here like alarms and relays and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to deal with that for now, but looks like you can play with any of this stuff if you want. All right, so it's saying 100%. I have to charge it up, so I'm going to charge it overnight. I'll come back and see what it actually says. All right, it's now the next day. I left it charging all night. Had a huge storm come through. We lost power this morning. It's been out for probably 8-10 hours now. It can be back on for a while. But I believe the batteries got a full charge before the power went out. So let's take a look at the gauges here. So just looking at the gauge in the boat, you can use the buttons and change different things you want to look at. So I charged it up, haven't used it at all, so everything's kind of 0. Telling the volts, midpoint deviation, 6%. And then the midpoint voltage, so that's just the one battery is 13.4. Let's see, it's got all kinds of stuff here I got to go through. Charge is at 100% though. I think setup and select where these do history, deepest discharge. So since I haven't used it yet, it doesn't have any history or nothing like that. All right, let's go to the app and see what that shows. All right, got my phone out. We got to go to the Victron Connect app. And then every time you do that, then it starts and connects. You got to have your Bluetooth enabled there. All right, so again, we didn't use it at all, so there's probably going to be history or nothing, but you see you got a little more information here. Current voltage in series 26.98. Current, power, everything's at 0 amp hours. So once I start using it, it'll tell me how much I'm using, and then I'll give you a time remaining. So I'm guessing, I'm kind of curious. I'm going to take this on the lake and maybe do an updated video here where I'll go like full power on the trolling motor and then see how many hours remaining, and it can tell you how long we can run the motor at like full power, or try the different settings and see what a difference it makes. Midpoint voltage deviation is only 0.6%. All right, then we can go to, like I said, the history. And so I haven't looked at this yet, so but it's got all kinds of stuff. Deepest discharge, so that must be the point at which you used it the most, drained it the furthest. Your average, your last, I mean, it's got everything you need here. So it keeps going here. You can set minimum battery voltage and voltage alarms. So I haven't set any of that up yet, but you can set it so it alarms you if you're at a low voltage or something like that. And then trends over time as you use it. So the longer I leave this connected, this will probably give me more of a graph, but you got state of charge, and then you got the yellow one there. So you can change these. Right now it's state of charge percentage. You can go like the voltage and tell you what the voltage is at. Current draw. And you got what, like power. So that's in watts. Kind of like the state of charge one. And then the yellow one here, it's that's your midpoint one, I think. So same deal. Do voltage on that one maybe. Gives you the lines. So that's what you're going to see with the app here. Go back to status. So when you're out in the boat area, you have to pull up your app. It'll connect and you can see everything about it. But like I said, I got the gauge here, so I can just quickly look to see what my percentage charge is. So I don't have to pull all this out. So it seems to be working just the way I wired it. Like I said, I haven't seen anybody install this Victron battery monitor on a boat with the batteries in series yet, but the way I hooked up seems to be working. So works great. It's nice to know how much current you have left, and if you happen to put lithium in your boat, this is a good way to go. Hope you learned something here, and can't wait to get on the lake and see the trends and stuff. So I'll probably make an updated video on this and showing how long the trolling motor stuff lasts on these batteries. I'm kind of curious myself. So all right, everyone, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the lake.